Semifinal number 2, we're in the final qualifier for the Murky Cup, ladies and gentlemen. Qualifier number 6, and it is the semi-final. A best of 3 series between the dudes and the Exodia stack. So, currently the dudes are in, I believe, the number 1 position in the tournament. And the Exodia stack is, I think, 4th. They didn't participate in at least one tournament. They got eliminated very early in another. So, it's kind of interesting. They dominated the first tournament so massively that it felt like they are just going to march through every single qualifier and then win the playoffs and nobody else has a chance. And as it turns out, that's not quite what's happening. There are definitely teams that were able to take maps of them. Some took them down in best of 3 series. A team like the Dudes, for example, did exceptionally well. They have improved so much, it's kind of crazy. Now today we have Unforgiven playing here, so apparently they're also playing with a sub. We'll see how things go. They have been playing with subs a lot, actually, throughout the qualifiers, but the blue team has positively surprised. Now, again, we have a bounty system in the tournament. We have, thanks to I Can't Wait, who sponsors this tournament, $2,000 as prize money, and that prize money is split. We have $1,000 that go to the top teams, as you would see in any other tournament, and then we have $1,000 that go into a bounty pool. And that bounty pool, you basically try to get tickets for the bounty pool, and then you get a share at the end of the entire tournament according to how many tickets you were able to get and how many tickets were accomplished in total. And where you get tickets is easy. You just have to complete bounties. Here they are on screen right now. Actually, here they are. So you have to win games with certain heroes. You have to play certain talents. Each team has their own bounty board and can complete any of these bounties one time. And teams have really been looking at that. So we've had tons and tons of bounties completed, and it was a total blast. So many Cho'Gall attempts, Butcher, Probius, Murky. I mean, we've seen it all at this point. And it's just amazing. It's tons of fun. And I love how the teams adapted all of that. But again, I want to give a big shout out to I Can't Wait, the sponsor of this tournament. It's always nice when we have people that are able to step up and privately sponsor tournaments like this and support the Heroes of the Storm esports scene. Is absolutely amazing. He is a huge fan of Murky, hence the name Murky Cup. And you might have gleaned it also on the last one. Murky, if you complete the bounty, you get 3 tickets instead of 1. So a bit more of an incentive for teams to try and get Murky through. Lucio Mirrodin, our opening draft for the Exodia stack. And, well, then on the other side, we're getting Sergeant Hammer. And on top of that, as you can already see, we also got good old Genji. So, Sergeant Hammer, Genji have been locked in here. Diablo gets banned. I mean, we're going to all direct pass, so no bullying around over here, as it seems. But Hammer, Genji, Hogger. I mean, Hogger is nice for the map already, especially taking that one isolated camp that you want to grab as many times as you possibly can. And Nubrak has been banned. He's good at cheekily trying to go for the objective and locking the camp in, so it's one of the reasons why he gets banned out here. Also because he's a good dive hero. I mean, it's only frontliners that have been banned by the Exodia stack for now. And Cassia gets eliminated on the right side. One question that, of course, immediately exists is, are we going to get a bounty? And the question has been answered. Cho'Gall is going to be our bounty of choice this time on the right side for the Exodia stack. So it's a bounty indeed, and that is going to be interesting. Are they going to be able to win with Cho'Gall on all direct pass? Also explains the... Well, Inubarak banning him on all direct pass is never really a bad choice, but it explains it a bit more in the sense that now Cocoon against Cho'Gall doesn't give you the double value here. So we're getting Mal'Ganis and we're getting Rhaegar as our final 2 picks for the dudes. They have Sergeant Hammer. Level 16 on Hammer could become a problem for Cho'Gall, obviously. Once that you have Giant Killer, doesn't get much bigger than Cho'Gall. But our final pick, Dino, Murden, Lucio, and then Cho'Gall and Dino. What's the weapon? What's the damage? What are they bringing in now on our first map in the best of 3 series? No bounty attempt, by the way, for the dudes. They want to win this one. Phoenix. Alright, Phoenix is in the house. All direct passes the map. Let's go! Semifinal number 2 in qualifier number 6 for the Murky Cup. Game number 1, and we are already kicking things off with Cho'Gall. On the left, though, we have the dudes in our first game of the series with Gavlo on Genji. We have Banana H playing Rega. Unforgiven is playing Hogger. Blood Cool on Sergeant Hammer. He's going to play a huge role in this game, of course. Johan then with Mal'Ganis, and over on the right side, it is Hazu on Gal. Dino is playing Phoenix for the team. Yasu with Lucio. We get Bad Benny on Murden. And finally, last but not least, Copenhagen is playing Cho. So, first let's check QQ Ops. Alright. Yeah, we've seen that already attempted once and it didn't work for them. So maybe here they have now the opportunity to take him out as a bounty and complete this one. But it's gonna be pretty wild to see if this is working out, because the lineup that they're going up against could definitely burn Shogal down pretty quickly if played correctly. Now there's lots of tools that they can use in that situation, but we'll see how far they can actually go with this. Because right now Shogal in the early game, of course, might steal a bit on the weaker side, gets also support from Lucio, so it's not like I think Auriel here, or you get Alex Straza, you know, with any of these big heals. Rega with an Ancestral. Instead they're relying on Lucio that also speeds things up a bit when they are trying to rotate from one lane to another, which can definitely be quite helpful if you are attempting to play a macro game. And in the context of a macro game, we always have to highlight it, the level 20 talent on Shogal when your death timer gets significantly reduced by 50%. On a big map, you can easily trade your life for structure. So we've seen this on Dragonshire and other maps. Once that you have the level 20 talent, you're just inting pretty hard against the opponent's keep. You take the keep out, you die, and your opponent can't essentially do anything about it, because once that they're crossing the map... Normally what you're trying to do in the late game when you're killing a few heroes as they're inting for your keep is you're punishing them by crossing the map and then doing the same or more damage on the other side while they are still dead. You can't do that against Shogal after level 20, because by the time you cross the map on a big map, he's already back and is going to be defending. So this is a big problem that teams like the Cats have exploited in the past. And of course, you can't just rely on what's happening on 20. I'm just saying that once we're getting to 20, this is likely going to become a factor if they're focusing on some of these macro plays. So keep that in mind a little bit as we're progressing through the game here slowly. This might all be decided way before that. Maybe it's never going to play a role either, but it's something that at least in the back of your head you should think about just a bit as this continues. Now, Sergeant Hammer is waiting as usual for the level 7 talent. You need to have that extra mobility in order to get full use out of her. Right now, not really the case. Ooh, they might get the first kill. Lucio is still able to get out. Hogger and Rega are the ones defending down at the bottom of the map against Shogal. And oh, it's actually Genji against Murden that died. Apparently wanted to go a bit too deep in his quest to get a kill here. And Sergeant Hammer follows. Another one. The hammer got dropped. Okay. Nicely done. It's 2 kills for the Exodia stack in game number 1 of the best of 3 series. So QQ Ops is already moving back out. There was a nice engage in that fight and it led to a second kill for them. So a bit more map control that they gathered together with this too. At the bottom of the map, still that wall is open. So now that they opened the wall up, they can also continue to try and demolish that fort. Hey, looking pretty decent here. I mean, the objective hasn't really been focused on yet. Normally we're waiting until level 7 at least until we get some real action on that. But currently damage is being done. They're able to take some of the structures out. They're doing some work on the bottom fort already. Shogal is getting value here. And I think they're going to be pretty happy with how things develop for them, because the 2 kills helped, and now they get a third! Hogger burned down, and Rega alone won't be able to handle this. Johan and Blood Cool are also very low in the middle, and even if the kill doesn't come through here, this is still a problem. They will have to hearth, maybe there's still a fountain cooldown that they can use, but it's quite evident that this game is going one direction right now. Yasu is maybe going a bit too deep on this, but Shogal has an easy time taking Rega down, and Lucio escapes. So now the next attack is just coming through towards the fort, and it will likely fall. They're not even stopping there, they're also going for the objective. Unlikely that they're gonna get it directly, but every single bit of progress that you make here is already worth it. It's 4 kills to 0, as Mal'Ganis is attempting to set up a kill for them. but can't make that work. It's a dangerous game. The Cho'Gall combo is right now working, and it's a very, very dangerous game for the blue team because they're just losing too much ground way too soon. The fort at the bottom is destroyed, and we're not even 5 minutes in. One fort gone, and we're 5 minutes into the game, everybody. And they have taken the lead on the objective, as I already explained earlier. So that's another one. That's another thing that you have to be cautious about, at least a bit, because if you lose out on the objective now too, you might lose even more of your major structures. So Cho'Gall, they're swarming him with everything. Every single hero is like, alright boys, we've had it. We've had it up to here. Let's just take the big one out. And they did. Cho'Gall goes down. Sergeant Hammer with level 7 is now also finally in a position to siege up a bit more successfully. And they might even get Lucio, and they do. Lucio is dead. He gets destroyed. So I like it. The dudes finally bringing back some aggression and starting to take a bit of control of this game themselves. They're closing the experience lead very easily through it. And with Sergeant Hammer, they can now also attack the bottom of the map and get some work done. So we get the Dark Conversion for Mal'Ganis. We get Hoarder pulled for Hogger. And the attack here continuing as the objective becomes the focus for both of the teams. Lucio, by the way, with the bubble. Muradin gets killed. Benny is gone. BFG wasn't even needed. But better safe than sorry, so they YOLO'd that out, even though it didn't connect with anything. Taking Muradin down was nice, and that leads to an objective for the blue team. So the game started to look a bit grim for them, not gonna lie. And now it's the exact opposite. So it got flipped by the dudes. They have 4 kills to 4. Just a few seconds ago they didn't have a single kill, but now they have an objective. They're going to push the bot lane, they're going for the middle, the top. Cho'Gall, of course, also means that you have one less body on the map that you can use in order to split your forces properly. So it seems like the bot lane fort is going to get destroyed since nobody's even trying to defend it. But what's happening in the middle, that's maybe a bit more interesting even. It's 3 defenders currently, but they got their hands full. Yeah, the fort is low. Here comes the Hoarder pull. Just as Lucio popped his own ult and got the shield out. And Unforgiven on Hogger dies. Nice timing from Cho'Gall here. And they get another one. Genji is also dead. So, easy double kill. Fort at the bottom of the map has still fallen, so this needs to be dealt with. But, yeah, not too bad. If you're looking at the kill here again, so Hogger at least just spinning out of control, and the damage was well timed, and then he goes down. And that allows them to even follow it up with another kill against Gavlo, so he got hit hard here for just a second, couldn't escape anymore, and that's the end of him. So, yep, nicely done. Really good control, allowing them to go for 2 kills. So, yeah, having a bit of a back and forth here. And Cho'Gall is now sitting topside, starting to attack the next fort. And gets it down to 50% of its HP. So, talking about forts falling though, we have the same happening over here in the middle. Sergeant Hammer has taken it low enough that the minions are now taking that on. 13 talents kicking in already for the red team. Not quite there yet for the blue team. Even the boss is having a piece of the action apparently at the top. Yeah, is trying to contribute to Johan Mal'Ganis. He's low! And so is Cho'Gall. Both of them need to be very careful here. Dino, back conversion attempt from our boy Mal'Ganis. Ults are now in on both sides. Sorry, level 30 talents. Ults were already ready a little bit earlier. That would have been quite the gap in experience this early on. Salvo! But it doesn't connect with Genji, who he basically was aiming for there. Still gets some damage out, of course. So, 2 forts destroyed on the red team side. 1 fort is missing for the blue team. But they have some forts that are very, very low. So there's still a chance to bring this back. And the objective is coming back up in a few seconds too. Rhaegar with an Ancestral. Self-Ancestral for him. Needs to be super careful. They want him though. And Benny missed the Stormbolt. No! The storming... The zoning Stormbolt. Now they go for Mal'Ganis, Dark Conversion, but Mal'Ganis still dies. Nice BFG, good damage, but Muradin still could pop Avatar. And Lucio is keeping them alive. Molten Block utilized to keep Cho'Gall in play, and Genji already had to move back out. It's kind of wild though that they didn't kill Banana Age. And Benny got close. If Benny hits that Stormbolt, then it's a completely different story. Now, the fight or the party at the bottom of the map is still continuing, meaning that we have Hogger right now doing some damage on the keep wall already. So he at least took advantage of that situation and that freedom that he enjoyed bot side to get some damage done by himself structurally. So they're really all focusing on the map. I mean, we have a lot of team fights, granted, but they're also keeping the macro plays in mind and try and see what they can do with it. Tiny lead in experience still for the red team. The Exodia stack a little bit ahead here. Gal has 27,000 damage. They want that fort at the top, and they also realize that they might be able to take down Genji. Genji gone, fort exposed, and that's the Exodia stack with another structure destroyed and Genji also eliminated. And maybe even an objective. With Genji gone, they think they have an opportunity to now go for the next big play here. And you know what? They actually might. If they get the objective, that would be pretty sweet for them. So they're currently already on that. But they gotta retreat as the team, again, plays this one out quite nicely. Good defense from the blue team. Forces them back. But we're also getting closer and closer to level 20, and as I said before, I could totally see some kind of plays being made around that extra cooldown reduction on the death timer of Cho'Gath. That's an option. Now, 13 with the Twilight Nova, Leaden Orb on 16. Once again, the fight over the objective as they're coming in for the attack, and progress is being made. Exodia stack's getting a lot of progress, but they're also losing a lot of hit points here, and Muradin is dead. Muradin is down, and Cho'Gath is likely going to follow. He's trying to get away with the mobility that he has. Genji is chasing the rest of the team, but he actually falls to Phoenix. So Phoenix is just a bit too strong, and now with Lucio rushing top, it seems that Cho'Gath is going to survive this, and it puts Rhaegar into a pickle. He's in real trouble, and he dies. Rhaegar is gone. Sergeant Hammer has the 16 as well, but Mal'Ganis and Rhaegar both fall, and Sergeant Hammer can't really do a whole lot here. So with that level 60 talent locked in with Giant Killer, that's of course massive for the dudes now. Sergeant Hammer is going to get even more damage. He's already sitting at 37,000. But the last fight didn't go well for them at all. They lost too many heroes in the process. 11 kills to 5. The lead in experience is only half a level. And lanes, to be fair, are pressured by the blue team. But it feels like momentum is slowly starting to shift here, and if they claim the objective, for example, this is just going to be accelerated. And personally, I'm still a bit worried about what's happening in the late game, given the talents that Cho'Gath can lock in here, and what kind of play we could possibly see, specifically when you have Lucio on your side. Now, the objective has been claimed, so they were able to grab it, so we have now, once again, a set of the cavalry. But with this one specifically, yeah, a lot of them are going to spawn very close to the red team's base. Cho'Gath in the middle again on the attack. The lead is a lot bigger now. More than a level, actually. Now I'm looking at it. But still, pretty wild game. It's going to be a big one. So, as is, next attack is coming. Maybe now an opportunity to take a few more forts out. 2 have already been destroyed. The one in the middle should definitely get crushed. Don't see them defending that. Question is then more so, what else are they going to get? Are they going to get a keep, for example? Can they remove the first armor shield from the core? Is that an option for them? With Cho'Gath, they can definitely try. They're sitting at the top now, where the Raider still has the nearly max hit points. And they're pushing very heavily for Johan on Mal'Ganis here. Hogger is defending at the bottom. Sergeant Hammer is now coming in. And with Sergeant Hammer particularly, this is now of course a situation in which Hammer can easily start on trying to defend here. Yeah, Hammer is just really great against Cho'Gath with that extra damage on level 16. Getting Giant Killer in was mega important. But they're still 1.5 levels behind, so the dudes, they are in trouble. But you can see how that actually plays out for Sergeant Hammer. She's now sitting at 45,000 damage. Phoenix is at 42k though. So Dino, some real nice moves from him. No keep has fallen. It has taken a lot of damage at the top, but they haven't been able to take it out. 4 deaths on Genji. Gaflo having a bit of a tough time. Definitely struggling a bit in some of the situations that he was put in so far. Next attack over here. Starting to come in. Double checking a couple of the bushes here. Mirrodin just throwing out. And it's already starting. There it is. Hour of Twilight has been taken, and here are the first attacks. Yeah, that's the problem. He might not even die for this, but even if he does, now that they have level 20, this is exactly the kind of play that they're making. So he's trying to get counter kills. They're going on him with 5, buying time for the bot lane. Sergeant Hammer is dead. The Ancestral too late. Cho'Gall is down. 30-second death timer. And while they were going for the topside keep, now we have at the bottom the boss nearly claimed. But this is exactly the problem. This is what this is all about. Right here and now. You can't cross the map in time and do significant damage to your opponent's keep if this happens. So Cho'Gall is now on 20. Has the reduction on the death timer. And that is a massive, massive issue. 20 on both sides at least. So it gave some experience over to the dudes. That actually gives us Sanjin. Haven't seen that in a hot minute. Sanjin is in with Reflect on 16, and we got the augmented guard here. So, gonna be interesting how much Genji can contribute from here on out. He's currently sitting at 40,000 damage as he picks it up. Boss is at the bottom of the map. Next objective is ready. And Cho'Gall can start to make a few moves towards the middle again. I mean, Cho'Gall is clearly looking to just do more damage on those structures. That's all there is to it right now. They want to remove a second armor shield from the core, win the game that way. Cho'Gall is already just dancing around here, just gets the damage in, takes the wall down slowly, and the rest of the team is going for the objectives. There's currently 3 fires burning. Boss at the bottom, Cho'Gall in the middle, and then the attack here. Talking Cho'Gall, they come in, and Hawkeye is dead. Mirrodin goes down 2, dies to Genji. Mirrodin gone. Cho'Gall in trouble! And the BFG, can they get the kill? They can! Cho'Gall goes down. Gavlo took out 2 of them. He had 8,000 damage in that fight. 8k damage for Genji in that last encounter. But this is a problem. Another keep has fallen, and now the boss gets attacked with or the core gets attacked with a single armor shield. Now, 1 armor shield, still usually enough to defend at least against minion waves. But the problem is simply that, yeah, they're not going to stop there. They're going to try to go for the one in the middle as well. So, get the objective, or at least they're trying to. Cho'Gall is obviously back already. I mean, easy. Cho'Gall just easily coming back here. But I'm still worried about this a bit. With the core always regenerating by itself, this shouldn't be a problem until the last armor shield is gone. And by that time, you're normally already just getting crushed. So, objective, they're trying to prevent it from being taken. Johan! Oh, Phoenix with big damage. Big damage, big hits. Cho'Gall is dead too. And they're losing Lucio. Alright, Lucio's down, Dino's down. 3 heroes, Cho'Gall down 2. This might be a problem, and now they have the objective. This could be big. This could be big for the dudes. This could be absolutely massive here. Huge opportunity, but they're chasing Mirrodin. I'm not sure if chasing Mirrodin is really the play. They want to have everyone. They could have softened up a couple of these lanes already before the objective even makes an appearance. That hasn't happened. Can they end this now? Cho'Gall is already back. So Cho'Gall is already back to business, but he's gonna wait another 30 seconds until he gets some reinforcements. Until then, he has to do it all by himself. I think there was a chance for the Exodia, for the dudes to at least bring a few more heroes in and try to do some work there. As it is, that hasn't happened. So right now, the attacks, they keep coming in the middle. They should definitely get a couple of keeps. I mean, but 1 is not going to be enough to push for the core. Cho'Gall just can't die right now, and you can already see how he's defending extremely well. Gal and it's actually Gal and Phoenix, both with nearly the same damage. They're sitting at roughly 63,000. Sergeant Hammer 66,000. Look at Genji. Genji has nearly caught up with all of them. Sanjin has the option for Gavlo on level 20. Has really worked. I mean, he is starting to get heavily ahead in damage. He might even be top damage if this continues. But, damn. 1 keep destroyed. Can they destroy another one? That would remove a second armor shield from the core. And if you remove that second one, that would be... I mean, that would be damn good for them. If they can. And they can. So, it's an identical situation right now. Both teams have only 1 armor shield remaining, which means both teams can now go for the core. If you lose the third, then even minion waves become a problem. Until then, we'll see. But, yep, here we are. So, right now, the push to... Yeah, well, the idea to push the top lane out a little bit and protect that. It's not like we have a lot of globals or anything like this in the game. So they can't control these side lanes as well as they would want to. There's a bit of a difference and discrepancy in which lanes have so far been taken. Oh, yes, there's a boss, of course, as well up for grabs. That's another big one. This is actually a huge, huge tool that both teams can still use here and should use. But for now, it seems like, damn, are they fast. The red team is moving in, though. They want to interrupt this. They're already on it. Who is taking the boss? This could be massive. And this could decide the game. The boss gets taken by the Exodia stack. They take the boss. How much more can they do? Can they get a kill here? And they can! Mal'Ganis is gone. If they just keep the rest alive, this game's over. If they get more kills, I mean, even better. But they shouldn't overchase, because if they can just stay alive here, then they win this game. And this is essentially already it. With Mal'Ganis gone and the boss moving in, if they can get another kill, it would solidify it further. But this is already over. Defending here. If they all of a sudden lose their internet connection, then maybe there's a chance. But outside of that, nah. This boss together with the rest of the team is going to drop it. And now we have Hogger dead. So Hogger died as well. Genji is down. Oh my god. The Exodia stack. Massive play there towards the end. They're able to take the lead in the series. And they complete the Cho'Gall bounty. Cho'Gall bounty completed for the Exodia stack. Respect. Well done. Sergeant Hammer falls. So will the core in just a moment. And with Alderac pass going to the red team, this is the lead in the semi-final for the Exodia stack. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
So, game number 2, and things have changed a little bit. Now, first of all, the Exodia stack is in the lead and have now completed the Cho'Gall bounty. But also, we have a player coming in. Nano is with the team. So you might have noticed that Nano in the last couple of tournaments has actually not played with him, but he's a main part of the roster. The reason for this is actually fairly simple. Nano was apparently on vacation until right now. Apparently, he literally just came home, and he comes from a 28-hour trip. So I have no idea how many flights he had and how much of that is actually just him waiting at an airport. But he must have been in Australia or something. Last time that I flew for that long, I went to Australia and back, so I'm not quite sure. Even if you go to the United States, you're a lot faster than that. So I think Australia or Africa, South Africa or Australia are probably the two options that he has with this. But he came home, and he said he nearly won his warm-up ARAM, and now he's playing. So he must be either insanely jet-lagged and sleepy, or he's in a situation where he's just like, I can't sleep whatsoever. So either way, they're playing with him. They had the option to play with a sub, and they were like, nope, totally fine. So now we're going into game number 2. The 10 heroes that were played on the last map cannot be played again. But yeah, he is going all out on this. So kudos to Nano. And let's see how this is going to work. Imagine him just playing absolutely out of his mind right now, right? So he comes in, he kills it. He absolutely crushes it. If he ever joins a pro team, they're going to fly him once around the globe or twice before every single tournament. Just totally drain him, and then he just on autopilot, you know, becomes this esports savant that drops everyone in his path. Chromie gets banned immediately, by the way, because of Nano. Even with a Nano that is most likely jet-lagged and tired and whatnot, they are instantly coming in and banning out Chromie. Can you imagine how he smells, by the way? Think about that for a second. So he just came home, played immediately in ARAM. Did he shower? I take all guesses. Do you think he showered? I'm not so sure. He literally just came home, that's what they said, played an ARAM, now he's there. God, he must stink up the entire house. That's insane. No clue. Anyways, quick note, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. And also subscribe. The subscribe thing, I know you guys are lazy. I can see how many of you that watch the videos actually subbed. I'm always being told we need to do so. We need to make heroes popular again. And you guys are still too lazy to sub to the channel and hit that thumbs up button. So that's your first job of the day today. Do those two things, and maybe we can get YouTube, the algorithm, to recommend the videos to a few more people that in the past were interested in heroes or are just interested in MOBAs in general. So there you go. That's your homework. Malfurion and Medivh. Medivh Diablo. Me likey. Nano comes immediately in with an insanely difficult hero to play and is like, I got this. Alright, bro. I believe it, but still. Maybe they are just lying. I don't know. Anyways. Dehaka and Tychus kick things off for the red team. We got Sonya banned now. I mean, it is Infernal Shrine, so anything that gives you an insane amount of shrine control, which Sonya certainly does, goes the way of the Dodo Bird and just gets banned out. Leo is still available. Dehaka obviously taken, so Leo becomes a really nice alternative for the blue team. Also, because if you have Leo on your team with Diablo, I mean, Diablo has on Infernal Shrines already a ton of walls that he can stun opponents into, especially around a shrine fight. But if Leo drops an Entomb, Diablo can use it to stun people into those Entomb walls. So that makes that kind of nice. If you go Leyline Apocalypse, then, well, you don't have Lightning Breath, obviously, but you could also just go Leo and then Lightning Breath after an Entomb gets dropped. So there's a couple of different ways now they could run this. And there's the bounty. They go for the Alexstrasza bounty. Benny with Stitches and Alexstrasza played by Yasuo. So we talked about the bounties a bit. Should probably show them again. So here they are. And the bounty with the Globe talents on level 1 is now clearly being targeted by the Exodia stack. So this is the idea that they have, just to give you a bit of an idea of what they're aiming for. Vala gets taken as the main damage dealer for the blue team. Leoric, as expected, is the side laner. Doesn't really come as a shock, obviously. And with that, we now have a Dino as our final pick. And it's Tracer. Game number 2, everybody. We are still in the semi-final. This is the second map. This is the first match point for the Exodia stack. So let's jump straight into Infernal Shrines. Game number 2, Gavlo on Vala. So we're getting Vala, very likely with an auto attack style. Yep, there it is, the Creed of the Hunter. Now that we have Medivh and also Malfurion to assist. Nano on Medivh, Gavlo on Vala. We got Johan on Diablo, Banana H on Malfurion, and Bloodcool on Leoric. Over on the right side of the map, the bounty obviously starts to get locked in with Hungry for More, played by Benny, and we have Circle of Life for Alexstrasza. Copenhagen is playing Dehaka in the second game of the series, and we have Dino on Tracer starting the damage up with Hazorps coming in on Tychus as the second DPS. So, the bounty is all about getting those globes. This is the main thing. You want to get as many globes as you can. You want to complete the quest on Alexstrasza as quickly as possible. And then you are in a spot where you can absolutely feed Stitches globe after globe after globe. If you're able to win some of the shrines, then hey, even better. He's going to get even more of those. But the idea is of the bounty to see what can you do with Stitches. How many globes can you get for the big boy to make him that insanely tanky monster that just cannot die in the late game. We're also keeping our eye, as per usual agreement, on Medivh, considering that his baseline is reset every single time that he gets actually in the middle, that he gets killed. So let's see if Nano is able to survive through all of this. But yeah, apparently, really, a 28-hour trip is rough. South Africa and Australia are the only ones that really come to mind. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else that becomes an option, at least not for my personal travel experience. I mean, maybe he went to the North or South Pole. Maybe the South Pole is also... I don't know. I actually asked him, but they started the draft before he could answer, so I don't know, I can check out if we have a third map what's happening. But he's definitely already game for a couple of sprays here, so I think he's good. He's totally fine. We're good to go over here. Now, 5 globes so far. Again, the first one to complete is really Alexstrasza. That's one that you have to watch out for. Once that she can feed Stitches, it's gonna be a lot easier. So yeah, this is gonna be the big one for them. Making sure that Stitches then later on gets fully fed with Hungry for More By now on level 4, we're actually getting him with Vile Cleaver. Nano still defending down here as the red team is of course trying to also get stacks. They want to have not only the stacks on Medivh, but they're playing with Vala right now, attempting to A, keep her alive so that she doesn't lose any of the attack speed that she got through her quest reward, through the Gambit. And then on top of that, we also want to see her get more auto attacks in against heroes so that that extra damage will stack up as the game continues. If you will make both of those happen, and she could actually be pretty nice also against Stitches with that big hit point pool that later on in the game. So, yeah, time will tell. For now, first objective gets actually spawned at the top side. Up to now, haven't really seen a big fight here, anything yet. Okay, careful. Copenhagen is still sitting tight over there too. And, well, at the top it's Tychus that is making the first few moves. Not even Leo. I mean, Leo is close, but Tychus is getting a decent amount before Leo is making any move whatsoever. Hook at the bottom is currently missing. The portal rotation allows them to go towards the top, of course. But we have the Haka playing for the Exodia stack, so they got their global. That's already a huge tool to use there. Oh, and both Diablo and Tychus die at the top. Yeah, Dibbles moved in a little bit too deep in order to get Tychus. So that's both of them gone. 14 to 7 stacks, and Leo is now using the AoE control over the shrine that he holds. 7 talents are in, and look at Stitches, Putrefaction. Really going for those vile talents as he's trying to take control, and I think this is also heavily going to influence. I mean, when it comes to the way that they're playing this, I think it's pretty much a given that they're not going to go for Gorge here, but we'll see. 11 stacks for Alexstrasza and for Stitches, so they're still doing their best here. Keep in mind they get the extra globes if they win the objective, and currently things are looking pretty good for the Exodia stack. The dudes, nice jet propulsion, they Haka with the essence, they may build trouble, and Dino goes down. But the Punisher gets won by the red team. So at least they get the Punisher. The Haka, yep, he dies as well. So 2 of the heroes are gone. The globes did not go to Alexstrasza or Stitches, and now Stitches gets attacked too, and Benny dies. So that's 3 heroes that have now fallen. That is definitely not how you want to win an objective. They won it at least, but they lost 3 heroes in the process. So the Punisher is currently fighting all alone against the defenders at the top. And, I mean, not even the wall will fall. Nice move by the dudes. So, Nano with 13 stacks on Medivh. Nothing insane, nothing crazy, but as long as he doesn't die, that's obviously more than half the battle here for him. Slowly over time, then he will be able to complete it if he doesn't fall. But, yeah, Vala with 57 stacks, so she has the first quest reward on her level 1. The +1 percentage here. And they have elite experience, a little bit more than half a level. But there is a lot of scaling into the late game on both teams. It's not only about the blue team, but also the red team. But still very important to notice that with Medivh, Diablo can just be so insanely aggressive, it's ridiculous. And we've seen it already. A good Medivh player is just making an entire team shine. Those portals that come out, oh, misses the ley line though. But Diablo is still able to dash in and murder Stitches. So Stitches has no chance here. They come in with a portal again. They try for Hazu. Yazu is also barely getting away from the Entomb, but then Diablo comes again in for another stun. And Alexstrasza dies. Boy, they're getting farmed here. That level 10 ability that kicked in for the dudes was immediately used to be aggressive. That said, this is a problem. Nobody is dealing with this. So now they're losing a lot of hit points at the top. So yes, while it's fantastic for the blue team that they're not only able to get a couple of kills at the bottom of the map, but also take the fort out, let's not forget that they are losing a fort at the top too. So that counter pressure would have been a much bigger problem if they weren't able to take this at least. But yeah, as is, even in structures. That's the silver lining here. We're already 6-7 minutes into the game now, and up to now at least, Alexstrasza has not completed her quest. Stitches is sitting on 16 as we speak. Yeah, and the blue team is currently dominating this. 6 kills to 1. Looking extremely strong here. Also on experience, will most likely get a level 13 talent before we're heading into the objective. And Alexstrasza is now done with the quest. So this is changing things up at least a bit. Now Stitches can be fed a bit more. As expected, he went for Putrid Bile, by the way, given the builds that he chose here. There was just no way he's going to go for Gorge. So they're going to try and play through the team fights and on the shrines. But this is where things are starting to get a bit more interesting. So Stitches is definitely going to try and get his points together, his globes. Keep an eye on that for sure. And then from there on out, it's just a question of how long does the game go, how many can he get, is Alexstrasza going to get targeted in the fight, can they get him that big hit point pool? I mean, right now, with the 20 that he has, that's 500 additional hit points, it's nothing crazy. He gets an additional 5% movement speed too, which means in total he has 10, since there's the initial advantage or bonus that you get when you lock the talent in. So, that helps a little bit. And he picks another one up here. So, 24 for now. There's the hook. Oh, Gaflo shielded right away, but the attack continues. Leyline being used already. Apocalypse. And we have Alexstrasza as well. Putrid Bile on the shrine, trying to get as much as they can here and forcing the opponent off, but the blue team has taken the lead on shrine minions. So now we have the Exodia stack trying to catch up on this. They are fighting for a bounty. The blue team doesn't. Another hook, but they don't have level 13 yet, so the extra range just isn't there. They're fighting against the talent advantage. Benny! And he's dead. Stitches goes down. Twilight Dream of Malfurion drops him. Dino dies as well. Yep, they are losing more and more ground here. They're gonna lose the objective. The Punisher is taken, and with Tychus falling too, this might just be a bit too much for the Exodia stack to turn around. Currently, the dudes are doing well. Nano is playing a great game. He's on 28 stacks. We have him with some really nice ley lines and fantastic shields. Good vision, obviously, with Medivh too. And the bounty attempt for the Exodia stack is right now not looking like it can be successful. It's too much damage. There's the hook range. Nice. But they still can't get the kill, can they? Nope. Gavlo is low, but they couldn't get the kill. So now the fort at the bottom of the map is destroyed. They're going for the keep. Gavlo, and he's again shielded. Leyline is out too. Gavlo didn't die. Instead, a root on Tracer, and she is dead. And on top of that, it seems that the keep is gonna fall. Apoc, bit of a stun. Benny's still fine. More and more globe stacks, but not enough. And they're already trying to go for the core here. It's actually wild. We're 10 minutes in. And after they've just now, with that Punisher, taken out the keep, they're going for a core. At least they're thinking about it. They have 2 catapults that are doing damage here. The core is falling slowly. Catapults still up and finally get taken out. 10% of the hit points on the core lost. Another hook. And here comes Odin. Odin is in, so is Tracer. But it's again Medivh with the shield. And Malfurion gets away. They're still chasing though. They haven't given up on this yet. They're chasing, they want them, and they might get a few kills here, but it's Medivh that just shields everything. That little shit is just throwing one shield out like another, like it's just candy or something. Leo goes down, and finally Malfurion dies. The geezer with the green beard is eliminated. So that's good for them. Getting the double kill here, but they're still a level behind. They're still trailing, and let's face it, losing that keep is a problem. It's a huge problem. So now, can they bring that back? 30 stacks for Stitches. It's big, and again, it also impacts... Oh, that's a good kill. Vala down means 5% of the attack speed is now gone. And they're also closing the experience gap even further. It looked like they would get completely rolled here. This looked like they would be absolutely destroyed within minutes. Now, the Exodia stack might actually bring it back. And they have 32 stacks now in Stitches. So Stitches is really getting the numbers in. That's 640 hit points that he has now, extra. And again, keep in mind, it also helps him with Devour. Oh, there's 2, and they didn't get him! Stitches, what are you doing? Those were 2 extra globes that he could have had there. As I was about to say, quest completed for Medivh. Great. But the important part here, Devour procs, there's flare up, but Devour procs actually from Stitch's max hit points. So if you get a lot of globes, you also increase your Devour heals on top of that. So attacks are coming. Oh! Big hook YOLO'd out here. So that barely missed. I mean, if he connects that, maybe they can set up a kill there. Hook into a Tong from the Haka, for example. Now that they have level 16 and essentially carved up in experience, they now have a situation going where they should honestly be able to do some work on the thing, do some work on the next objective, because 10 kills to 4, yeah, but 16 to 16. Stitches has now a lot more hit points than previously. He's gonna have more survivability because of his Devour. We have Alexstrasza also with a level 16, and the Draconic Discipline is really, really big for her. The increased duration. That's some huge power spikes that they have. I mean, not saying that the blue team doesn't have any of those. I already talked about Manticore earlier, which is of course insane. Vala died only once. That's still 20% extra attack speed that she has. But that's the kind of hook that you need. APOC! Oh, the ley line ruined the APOC a little bit there. And Banana H is still not out of the woods yet. Banana and... oh my god. Holy ragdoll Batman. That thing got murdered. So did Medivh. That's a double kill. And it's a triple, baby! The Exodia stack with 3 kills all of a sudden. And damn. That changed things quickly. So now it is the red team that is in the lead. In experience, that gets more and more value for Stitches. The top fort has been taken out early, so they can go for the keep directly. And boy, oh boy. But yeah, over here, that's going to be more than a bit wild. Globe after globe is coming together for Stitches now. He has 15% movement speed advantage at this point in time. So, yeah. 59,000 damage for Tychus. We got 43,000 for Vala. Tychus definitely the top dog for now. Tracer's actually 3rd place. Could even overtake Vala. And there, this is now gonna get mad interesting. Because right now you're looking over at Stitches. Again, 44, he's nearly at 1,000 extra hit points. Nearly at 1,000. And they are having more and more trouble getting kills. Talking about the dudes here. The fort in the middle is about to get dropped. They have to move towards the top to defend here. Khaldor is already a bit low. Yeah, it seems like they're actually falling back. They want level 20 first. They're not fighting for any of this. They want to have the forts. They don't care about the keep it, as it seems. They want the forts, at least for now. And see what else they can do. Now, first quick attack against the camp. As they're starting to take the next one out. Maybe... I thought they would move towards the bottom fort and try and get that quickly as well. But they weren't able to do it in time, I suppose. Topside keep has taken some damage. Vala has now still died only once. So, there's the hook! And that's a lot of damage, and Leo dies. That allows them to steal the opponent's camp away. And they have level 20. That gives us 4 Alexstrasza on Ruby Wings right there. Big talent for her, of course. Big upgrade on her level 10. 51 stacks for Stitches. Again, that bad boy has now 1,000 extra hit points. 1,000. And the game might continue. They're just sieging up over there. And Benny, I mean, he is not going to care too much. Stitches hasn't taken his level 20 yet. Could go for hungry Stitches here. But, yeah. I mean, again, they were nearly killed early on. They were sieging up on the core. Their core has lost 10% because of this. The core lost 10% earlier because the blue team thought they had a chance to maybe even end the game. And then, all of a sudden, things changed. The game flipped. And now they're looking at a real nice spot where they might just be able to win the game after all. And taking Stitches down from here on out is gonna become more and more of a chore. That's just the reality of things. Thanks to them running the Haka, they also have a huge opportunity to depush the bot lane whenever there is some catapult pressure. Stitches, by the way, is 2 globes away from getting another 5% of his movement speed. So he's gonna be on 20. 20% movement speed. in just a moment for him. Which is big too. I mean, already, you can see it. You can actually see it right now. So, this is gonna get more than a bit wild if this continues. Level 21. Benny. Let's see what they can actually do here. I mean, right now, let's have also a look. Stitches is currently at 8,400 hit points. Oh, Malfurion! 8,400 hit points for Stitches. Diablo has 8,000. And he's fully stacked. Diablo is fully stacked and he has 400 hit points less than Stitches right now. Just to give you a bit of an idea what we're currently talking. So already Stitches has, what is that, 5% extra hit points over Diablo. And again, this might continue. It's 64 stacks now for Stitches. And he gets more. Now they're taking control. They're taking control of the shrine, or at least they're trying to. Here comes the big red button. Stitches upgraded his 10. Tychus gets attacked. They want him. They can't have him that easily. Here comes the Twilight Dream. Banana Age. In trouble. And Vala is the first one that dies. Vala down. Bam. There's the kill. There's the double. There's the triple, baby. They get 3 kills. They absolutely destroy them here. 3 kills already. Now they go for Diablo. Leo has fallen. It could be a 5-man wipe, but already this is just disastrous. And Stitches didn't give a shit. I mean, absolutely did not care. The fight for the objective still going on a little bit. 66 stacks now for Stitches. Again, giving you a bit of an idea. Stitches is now at 8,800 hit points. 8,800 hit points for Stitches. Imagine this game going another 3, 4, 5 minutes. They're going for core. The Exodia stack, it will be a 2-0. Stitches is unkillable here, more or less. But yep, we're going to the grand final with the Exodia stack facing off against Team Ash. I just don't see another... No, this is the only outcome here. This is it. This is game. 2-0 victory and another bounty completed for the Exodia stack. GG and well played. Nicely done and a great victory by the red team.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description and check that out. Thanks in advance and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.